Hey, what's going on, great people? This is Danielle Pierce. Pretty sure the screen is live, even though it still says that it's buffering on my end. But if you're here, just saying hi to you so you're just not left hanging out here by yourself. All right, let me turn off the sound. Yes, we're live. So again, I'm Danielle Pierce, creator of Real Estate Profit Lab. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you'll come back and subscribe and like and share the videos and stay with us. If you're a returning subscriber, then welcome back. Thought I would take a few minutes to go over the top 5 things that I think should be considered if you're going to be starting your property preservation company this year, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic that we're experiencing, which is kind of affecting everything all around the globe right now. Does that sound like a plan? All right, cool. So with that being stated, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into the 5 things that I think are should be of utmost importance if you're thinking about getting started with this industry right now. First thing first, and this might sound obvious, but I just feel like I have to say it anyway, is that I want you to commit 100% to the process of establishing, launching, and growing, and eventually scaling your property preservation company. What I find time and time again with people, especially folks who've been around the real estate industry, either on the outskirts or they've done different things, is that they can't focus on one thing. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna do flipping, I'm gonna do wholesaling, I'm gonna be a landlord, I'm gonna do mobile homes, I'm gonna do tiny homes, and it changes literally like every 3 weeks. And so what you do when you do that is you are continuously resetting yourself, which means you're setting yourself back a few steps, and then everything seems to get exponentially harder because your brain power is being utilized in so many different capacities. So I really would like for people to get started who are ready to focus only on property preservation. All the things work all the time. Wholesaling works, being a landlord works, commercial, all the stuff works. It's just a question of what avenue specifically will work for you and your personality and your budget. Can't forget about that. So if you just come in there, just say, hey, let me know where you're watching from. Like, subscribe, share the video if you've not already. So number one, commit to the process 100% and stop being scatterbrained and having shiny object syndrome. Stop chasing checks that you see people post on YouTube and Facebook and focus on this particular industry because it works. Second thing is that you should have at least a couple $1,000s. Ideally, more is better, just like anything else. You don't need to have as much money as you do for flipping. But you should have some money for insurance down payment, setting up the actual business formation. So if you do an LLC, in some states it's 150, in some states it's $500. I think it's 500 in New York. You should have money for that. You should have money for the insurance, which I just mentioned a few seconds ago. You should have money for to set up QuickBooks, to hire a small business attorney if you need to. You just need to have some money on hand in order to get started. So I just want to put that out there. It's not a free thing to start. I wish I could get on here and say, what a lot of the wholesalers say, like, oh, you can do this industry with no money. Because unfortunately, this is not one of those industries. All right. Now, I will say this, if money is an issue, I definitely think you should go ahead and get the ebook that I put out a couple months ago. It has really good ideas in there that actually work. And if you've bought the ebook already, you probably know this, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with everyone else anyway. FEMA is actually looking to bring on new inspectors right now. I got the email last week or so. So if you bought the ebook and you signed up with Vanguard or any the other company to do FEMA inspections, you would have been on their email list and you would have gotten the notification as well. Now, if you bought the ebook and you didn't sign up with Vanguard, then you didn't get then you didn't get nothing because you didn't follow the instructions. But they are looking to bring on new inspectors right now. They've already started the process. You have to do a background check. So I don't want to derail this video with that, but I'm just letting you know that the ebook has viable, legitimate options to bring in money. And I have plenty of students who've gotten their money for the course and for the startup costs from doing side hustles in that ebook. That link will be dropped down below. All right, so have at least $2,000 is point number 2. Third thing is be self-motivated and be consistent. So when I say self-motivated, I mean that a lot of folks I find are motivated when they see other people having success because it makes them feel like they can do it too. Right. And on the surface, that doesn't sound so bad because that you're like, oh, okay, I like to see other people do it because then that gives me confidence. But what happens when you see people not having success in something? Then that same effect takes place where you're like, oh, I don't have any confidence to do it because I don't see anybody else, being successful at it. So in the cure for that is to just be motivated internally and stop being swayed by, what you see on social media or even the emails that I send out. I send out plenty of testimonials and success stories. And I know for some people, they feel like it's kind of, saying where they should be or where they should be. And that's never been the case. It's just to highlight what's possible if you actually stay the course and follow the plan and do the work. All right. So be self-motivated and be consistent. Matter of fact, let me click over and show you one of my most recent success stories. This is Michelle. I won't say her last name on YouTube because, some of y'all be hella crazy on YouTube. If you're just tuning in, I'm Danielle Pierce, creator of Real Estate Profit Lab. Going over the top 5 considerations you should have for starting your property preservation company in 2020 during the middle of the pandemic and all the other stuff that's going on in the world. So we talked about committing 100%. Second thing was to have at least $2,000. Third thing is to be motivated internally and not by everything and everyone else, and also to be consistent. So I'm going to show you this testimonial from Michelle. If I can share the screen real quick. Bear with me, y'all. Sometimes it's technology down. So I love this testimonial because it's first of all, it's super funny. I'm not gonna read all of it because you guys can do a screenshot and read it later. But basically, she's saying, hey, big sis, thank you for the shout out. This made my whole weekend. I've been getting all this work. I got a work order for $800. I've got 3 more coming up this week. Got a grass cut guy. Got a maid refresh person. I got my main handyman. My team is slowly building. I'm so lucky, blessed, or whatever you want to call it, to have discovered you. You helped me change my life. I believe I manifested you. And she just goes on and on to say that she's happy that it's working for her. Y'all, Michelle just made 30 years old. And I don't mean to say that like that's super young because I just turned 40, but I feel like 30 was a very long time ago. 10 years is a pretty good gap, but she's fearless, she's like, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I really wish that more of us, could have that same mentality and philosophy and just kind of, make things work no matter what, because it's a powerful thing when you can train your mind to go after a specific task or objective and actually make that happen. So she did that and she's doing that and she's hiring right now in the middle of COVID-19, go figure. And Michelle is I want to say she's out of New York, somewhere on the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken, but she's doing a great job. So just wanted to share that with you guys right quick, because I think that firsthand testimony has a lot of power. Would you agree? Let me know if you agree in the comments. All right. So back to what I was saying about these 3 points. Fourth point. So understand, let me stop the screen share. Fourth point is to understand the discount percentages. So discount percentages are basically money that you're not receiving when you get your contract. So when you sign up to do property preservation work with any of the national companies, a lot of them have what's called a discount percentage, where it's money that they're keeping before they pay you. So as a new vendor starting your business, now you need to understand what that percentage is and whether or not the price sheets that they give you are before or after the discount. Right? Because if you don't understand what the discount percentage is and when it's been applied, you can't possibly figure out how much you're going to pay folks to do work for you and your company when you decide to, go ahead and sign up and start receiving work. So that's number 4. And number 5 is be prepared to sign up for one of these 2 companies, either Exact PRM or another company is called Repair Base. Both of these companies are to do estimates. And the reason why you want to do this is because you want your estimates to be tight, concise. You want them to paint a picture and tell the story and just be as thorough as possible. It can be a little bit tricky in the beginning to do estimates, especially if you've never done it before, but that's why the software is critical. So again, it's Exact PRM or Repair Base. And so with that, I'm going to recap the 5 things that you have to know right now. And then I'll move on to my last point, which is where do I think the industry is headed? So again, commit 100%. Have at least $2,000. If you don't have that money, order the ebook and follow the steps in the ebook. Like, don't just order and don't do nothing. And I keep saying it because I know that I shouldn't care if people buy stuff and don't do anything with it, but I do. I want you to buy it and use it and come back and give me your testimonial so we can add it to all the other ones that we have. Like right now we have 100 on Facebook, 100 on Google Business, and another 100 on the course platform, which used to be Thinkific, which is now Kajabi. All right, so over 300 testimonials. I need that number to keep going up. Third thing is to be self-motivated and consistent. Don't be swayed by what people are successful at. Don't be swayed when you see people that are not successful. You should just run your own race. Just like your mom used to tell you, worry about yourself and make sure that you're following the steps that you're supposed to be taking, and the chips will align where they need to. Number 4 is understand discount percentage. Number 5 is be prepared to sign up for exact PRM, which could be a little bit pricey, and repair based, which is significantly less costly. Now, as far as where the industry is headed, I like to pull, I know I'm a nerd. I'm always on the internet researching some stuff. So I found a white paper, which I think you will find absolutely fascinating. If I could do another screen share, bear with me. So I found a white paper, and this is, I'm going to share two screenshots with you, right? Did somebody just fall on the floor? Okay. If I get up, it's because I'm going to check on the child. That looks like somebody fell on the floor. Anyway, 2 screenshots I want to share with you. This one is, again, this is a white paper that came out either at the end of May or the beginning of June. And it's basically a panel from a lot of the CEOs and CFOs and industry leaders in mortgage and banking. Mortgage and property preservation. And so this question was asked to the panel, and it said, will the US remain in a recession in 2021 from the effects of COVID-19? 69% say yes, 31% say no, right? Unfortunately, property preservation thrives during a recession. It's not anything to be gleeful about or joyful about. It reminds me of when I was doing FEMA inspections in 2017, and the more experienced inspectors would kind of gather around and talk amongst themselves and say things like, wow, we're going to make a lot of money this year, because 2017 had, I think, 4 or 5 natural disasters, I think the most on record. And so there was a lot of money to be made. There's still going to be a lot of money to be made probably every year for the most experienced people. But that's what they would talk about. And they weren't happy that it was happening, but they were cognizant of the fact that, okay, these 5 hurricanes or tropical storms or whatever are going to translate to a lot of money for the inspectors. So a similar premise applies to property preservation as well. So again, 69% of people that they asked whether or not the country would remain in a recession from COVID-19 said yes. And the other one I want to share with you is, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I get my stuff together. All right, this is another one. This is from that same white paper. And basically the question was asked, foreclosures typically are 1% of all mortgage loans. Prior to COVID-19, it was basically cut in half, so inventory was down. And then the question was asked, what do you think it's going to be post-pandemic? And actually, we haven't even gotten to post-pandemic yet, but hopefully, and we should get there, right? God willing. And 25% say that it's going to go back to the 1% rate that it was before the crisis. 17% think it's going to exceed the rate from the Great Recession, which was 4%. The Great Recession was 2008. And then 6% think that it's going to return to, the half a percentage point. But 50% think that foreclosure rate, which is, again, typically 1%, prior to COVID-19, it was 0.5%. They think it's going to rise between 2 to 3%, which essentially means that it's going to double and triple is kind of what that comes down to, right? So again, I wanted to pull this white paper because I like to show documentation other than what I say out of my own mouth and what I come up with in my own brain, because I think that it yields a lot more credibility and, just assertiveness to what I'm stating to you guys on this live stream and wherever else you may be following me on the email list as well. So again, there will be opportunity here. So all that being stated, I am doing, I did a video a couple days ago about a live presentation or training session that I'll be doing. It's actually a Q&A session. So what that means is that I'm going to drop the link down below to register for it. It is going to be free. And there's a form to fill out. There's a questionnaire first, and then there's a form where you can enter the questions that you have. So go ahead and take the time to drop in the questions that you have. I have some folks who have no questions. I got some folks who have 2 questions, and I got some folks who have 22 questions. So this is going to be, I don't even know how long this training session going to be. I was hoping to be done in an hour because y'all know I don't like to be talking all day. but it might run 90 minutes. I'm going to probably have to cap it at 90 minutes. Like I can't see talking longer than that without running out of breath and being hoarse. But it's going to be June the 24th at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I'm going to post that link down below in the comment section, in the pinned comments, as soon as this video uploads to YouTube. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you found this information to be helpful and enlightening. And again, if you have other specific questions about getting started, I'll post the link down below. You can fill out that short survey and then drop your questions in there, and I will see them on the other side. And a lot of the questions are very similar. So I'll pick, I don't know, we'll see how many we can get through in an hour and a half. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to my late night, actually early morning live. Definitely appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share the video. If you know someone who wants to get started, please share this information with them as well. Other than that, that's all I got for you. So have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you guys next time. In the meantime, I'm sending you love, light, peace, blessings, grace, and clarity. All right, bye-bye.